But I came in with a little hype. So I played JV my first year, right? And man, let me tell you, so I'm like the best shooter on the team, best free throw shooter on the team. Man, we lost the game down Southern one year. I got fouled. We was up by one with like 7 seconds on the clock, and I got fouled. Going to shoot a 1-on-1. It should have been an intentional foul. God fouled me pretty hard, kind of like out of frustration, right? Man, I go to the free throw line. Coach ain't had nobody on the line. He got everybody back. Charlie shooting, man, we good. Coach Wade was the varsity coach at the time, right? Mr. Badham was my JV coach. He told him, Badham, put somebody on the line. He almost like waved Coach off. No, Charlie shooting, he got him. Yo, I missed the front end of a 1-and-1. And you talking about a fluke? The ball went long to the sideline by the three-point line. Guy got it, threw it to the guy half court. When I tell you, he just threw up a wild hook shot. All bottoms. Man, I ain't sleep for about a month. Man, I was crushed, and that knocked us out of the playoffs because the winner of that game went to the championship.
Was it about 10th grade?
I was 9th grade. This is 85. This is 85, 86, right?
Yeah.
So check this out.
Wow.
So then next year, Coach 87, Coach Wade, no 86, Coach Wade 86, 87. He left Dunbar to go to Maryland, right? Mm-hmm. And Coach Pompey came in. So when Coach Pompey came in, you know, it was just under, he was new coming in. So, you know, people try to put shit in the game, act like we ain't had no discipline down there, and, you know, just try to do other little dumb stuff or whatever. So I was supposed to move up to varsity that year. But I was so crushed about that JV season, man. I talked Coach Badham into staying. I said, Coach, man, you got to stay. We got to keep our structure so when guys move up, we already locked in or whatever.
Right.
Man, Coach stayed, man. We went undefeated the next season. You know what I mean? Crushed everything, you know. And then the next year, I moved up to varsity. But just getting down Dunbar, man, and just making the team getting in Dunbar was one thing. Everybody wanted to come to Dunbar. So you had a lot of guys down there was very talented that didn't make the team for various reasons. Some couldn't get the grades up, right? Some of them just couldn't beat out the guys that were there. You know what I mean? And some guys had the talent, but they're not coachable. They can't play within the team concept. You know, they don't have the discipline to just run with them bricks all day long, run up and down the steps and all that stuff. So they like, man.
Because you play for Bob. I mean, Bob Wade is like
I was there when Coach was there. My 9th grade year, Coach was there.
He's
Dude,
one of the greatest coaches.
No nonsense though.
Yeah.
No nonsense. And then 9th grade year, I mean, we had all the coaches from everywhere. Coach K, Riley Massimino, John Calipari, Jim Behan. I mean, those guys were sitting in our gym watching Perry, Terry Dozier, Sean Tyson, Kirk Lee, you know what I mean, Booby James. I mean, watching those guys, man. You know what I mean? Sam had just came in as a sophomore, starting on varsity. You know what I mean? It's like them guys was coming in to see them guys. How can they miss you? You know what I mean? If you out there doing your thing too.
Absolutely.
But they came to see those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can recall right in '85 too, we went to 5-star basketball camp. And you remember the kid, Chris Corsiani, that played Fire and Ice, him and Rodney Monroe?
Okay.
Let me tell you something, man.
Hold on. Can you speak on Rodney Monroe real quick?
Only thing I can speak on Rodney is from watching him in the stands. He was tough. He was smooth. He could stroke. He had Steph Curry range before Steph Curry had Steph Curry range. I mean, easy though. It was easy, you know. And you know, I laugh and joke a lot and tell guys like, man, I was Steph before Steph was Steph, because I think I had a pretty good range on my J. You know what I mean? But yeah, Rodney was smooth, man, and great handles. He could do it all. You know what I mean? But getting back to that 5-star story, you know, the guys like Reggie Williams, David Wingate, Mike Brown, Muggsy Bogues, Reggie Lewis, those guys like set the way for us at 5-star basketball camp. Because 5-star basketball camp is the camp that, you know, they used to be on the campus of Robert Morris. Yeah. They used to get people from all over to come, right? Mm-hmm. But because of those guys I just named, they went up there and bust ass up there. When the people realized that all these guys was going to be on the same high school team, they changed the week that Baltimore guys came, they made it Baltimore week. And that was during All-Star guy, when all the top recruits in the country come up, and they made that Baltimore week. Okay. Yeah, so, and it's like you start off with NIT, NCAA, NBA. Those are the levels. So you got your guys that's in the 9th grade, And then you got your 10th graders that ain't too good, they may play in the NIT. Then you got your exceptional 9th graders and 10th graders, they may start off in the NCAA, and then you got your 11th graders that's so-so. And then your NBA will be your exceptional guys regardless of what grade you was in, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then when you finally, in your good seniors, those are guys that was, in the NBA. But I was playing in NIT, I maybe played in NIT probably like 2 games. And Calipari was all over me, champ. Fell in love with me instantly. He was the coach at Pitt. That's why I was supposed to go originally. Pitt was recruiting me heavy, man.
We gonna get there. We don't.
Okay.
We ain't gonna rush you. I ain't gonna rush you.
Okay. Yeah. Because I got some stuff for you, man.
I got you. I'm gonna make sure you get there.
Yeah, but anyway, just being up there at Calipari, he was like really, on me. You know what I mean?
And not to cut you off again, and for people that don't know, at the time during this '80s era, and even up until the mid '90s, honestly, 5-star camp is the camp in the country.
If you ever played basketball, on a national level, you came through 5-star basketball. You name a player in the NBA who's been through that didn't go to 5-star.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I relay that so people know how important.
Yeah. And I didn't get to the big. I didn't get to some of the other camps like Nike ABC camp or whatever like that, but. Those had no bearings on 5-star.
That's why I know that.
5-star,
you could have easily spoke on that, but
no
it's like
question,
at the time, that's the top camp. That's the most exposed camp.
No question.
You get Calipari. You get a lot of people that had their foundation started at 5-star, especially in the Baltimore area, like you said.
Absolutely. Yep.
Terry and Perry Dozier being very brilliant at the 5-star camps got them to where they are.
No question. No question.
Yeah, I got you for sure.
Yeah.
So no, go ahead.
Just up there at 5-star, man, and I will say this, man. Sam was scorching Chris Gordiani. Abused him. Sam was coming down, and he was in the 10th grade, and of course they moved him straight to the NBA. You know what I mean? And he held his own. Billy Owens killed everything up on the camp that year. You know what I mean? But yeah, Sam held his own. You know what I mean? But it was just something about Howard Garfinkel and them guys. They was on Chris thick, man. And he walking around like he a black dude. He got his socks hanging out his back pocket, and he bopping around. He always in the trainer's office getting his ankles taped up or whatever. And every time a coach got up to speak, Howard Garfinkel, hey Chris, go ahead. He's the one that he always, help participate or do the little demonstrations with. It was sickening, man. You know what I mean? But he could go, but he wasn't that.
They tried to write it in the cards.
Yeah. He was a white boy, and he wasn't the norm at that time. You know what I mean? He give you a little soul. He could shoot. He can handle the ball. He had a little toughness to him or whatever. Yeah, but Sam cooked his ass up there. You know what I mean? No question.
Man.
Yep.
So that's freshman year.
Yep.
You move a little bit into sophomore year, and you tell them you need to get back, and y'all go undefeated.
Absolutely.
So now you step into junior year, and you about at this time you're 15, 16, right?
Yeah, I'm 17.
17?
Yep. Because I'm a year behind. I failed in the 5th grade. You know what I mean? Not because I was a fool, but I was shooting trash ball, baby. Starting to crack jokes, and sleep in class and all that dumb shit. You know what I mean? So my mother like, oh, that's how you want to act? Yeah, you're going to stay there. So all my friends that was my age went up to the 6th grade, and I met their little brothers and sisters coming up. They became my best friends. Okay. My mom they could have put me in on a contract and say by the end of the first quarter, if my grades went up, then they'll put me where mom said, nah, you don't want to act right, you're going to stay your ass right there.
I'll tell you a funny story. So my 9th grade year, I was ineligible, right? So they gave me, at this time, they instilled this rule. You could, in 3 weeks, you could get your shit right back right and start playing. So it's like, yeah, you go ahead. She's like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Whatever. I do it, I knock it right out. Get all my grades right, I'm good. She's like, yeah, you still not playing. I said, oh man, but I'm like, I was broke down. I was done. But that changed a lot of stuff though. It kind of changed me. But so you get to this point, and how did you approach this year, and what changed to make you make the change as far as that you made that we spoke about earlier?
Are we still talking about just moving up to my junior year on the team?
Yeah.
Well,
first, we can talk about that first, and then, we'll migrate to
wasn't too much different from year to year, because as soon as you walk in 9th grade, you running with them breaks, you running them steps. The discipline and the conditioning was off the chain. Our games were really, we like seeing the fruits of our labor doing our games. That's what we really got appreciated. You know what I mean? Because we go out and we're busting my ass. But let me tell you something, right? I've never been around a team, never been a part of a team, never been a part of an organization like Dunbar. And I tell you this, right? Can you imagine just being on the team, and soon as you walk in the gym, you up 20? Before the ball ever been thrown up, or before anything ever happened, just because you got Dunbar across your chest.
Especially being at home with all that.
Man, I'm just telling you. Oh, you down 40 when you walking out, Jim.
Yeah.
You're intimidated. You know what I mean? We the East Side Gardens. You got banners hanging everywhere. You got Joker's names and stuff all over the big national championship banners. Then the crowd is intimidating. You know, it was just so much, man, that one had to deal with. If they wasn't ready for that stage, then they'll get lost. But moving up to varsity, I saw a nice little bit of time my junior year. I was like the first guard to come off the bench. I was playing behind Sam, Kevin Green, Louis Lambert. They was like our 1, 2, and 3, and all that is interchangeable. Anybody can start the offense. We were just interchangeable like that. And I got some good times. One of my notable stories is Sam twisted his ankle early in the Port Lincoln tournament up Lake, right? And I'm talking about jam-packed. Coach looked down at me. I'm running the game, right? Dude, 2 times down the floor, we run a play called special. That's when you throw the ball this way, and the guard on the opposite side, he run all the way baseline, they double screen for me, pop out to the corner. Bang! Knock one down, right? Come back around again, call special, get the opposite side. Boom! Knocked it out with that, right? I look over on the bench, guess what Sam doing? Tie that. He over there tied him up. I can't steal your show, baby. I can't steal your show. Boy, I'm just going to add to it. You know what I mean? For sure. So, boy, I looked over there, man, Sam up when he walking, right? And Coach sub but left me in because I got a stroke going. You know what I mean? And there was something about playing in Lake Clifton Gym, man. Man, it felt so good, man. You know what I mean? Good in there, man. The crowd, the hype, I just love that, man. I ain't never fold on center stage. Never. I always wanted that extra shit. You know what I mean? And that was one of my good little stories there. What was saying? I looked over, Gut was tying this shit up tight. He was like trying to get together.
Absolutely.
Yep, and came out there and we won, of course. Yep.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, and it's so crazy because like having that little situation, a little bit of that one window will open the door.
Oh, no question. The confidence. Everybody possesses a level of skill or level of talent, right? But if you don't have the confidence to be able to bring it forth, or you don't have the heart to bring it forth, then it'll never manifest. It'll just always be in you. You just be on the court, and Joe will be like, damn, yo, nice, yo. Then he come down the dome and play, or he comes somewhere else, they be like, yo, man, why this nigga scared out there? Yo, what's wrong with y'all? But it's just that, some people don't get the concept, like I said, they don't get the concept of playing in a team, organization, you know what I mean, within the team concept. They just want to, play horse all day long, or play 21, or play West Side, or whatever it is. They just want to do that, or play 3-on-3 and do that shit. But they don't have the confidence to play when other guys are really good. And I found myself at my best when we had the best guys out on the floor competing against one another.
No, I feel you. No, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. So, when you say it's junior year, you're about 17.
Yep.
So you're the youngest, like you said, gap about 6 years.
Yep.
Were you in the house is just you and moms at this point? So,
before my brother got killed, he started getting high. You know what I mean? That's just how it is, man. You hear the old Scarface saying, don't get high on your own supply and all those shit like that. So my brother started dipping dabbing, he started getting high. So
at what age was this?
Oh man, I just told you he was before his time. He got killed when he was 27. So I'm gonna say by the time he was like 19 or 20, he already sniffing dope. You know what I mean? By the time he 23, 24, 25 into his death, you know what I mean? He sniffing coke. He sniffing dope and smoking coke at that time. You know what I mean?
And you about 16?
When he died, I was 21. You know what I mean? But
so you noticed this. You noticed this.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was out. It wasn't no. You ain't had to second guess it. Just being around and knowing the habits. You know what I mean? The nodding and the. You know what I mean? Waking up early in the morning, ill, can't do nothing because he need that morning blast, you know what I mean, to get out the gate or whatever. So, all the signs are there. When you're around it, even though you didn't dwell on it or interfere, I had guys who told me, just as he told Sam, just as he told other guys that was growing up in the neighborhoods that go hoop, it was always dope boys, always giving us money boys stay in school, boys stay in school, and giving us things so we didn't have to subject ourselves to that life, right? And I want to speak really quick on another talent, my guy Skeeter, John Hope, little light-skinned Skeeter. He just got killed last year. But I can remember we playing on the first 10-12 Buccaneer team. You know what I mean? We go up to Philly, me and Calvin Scruggs. He 9, I'm 10. Them guys hooping, we had late games, me and him on the end of the bench sleep. No, we didn't get no action, you know what I mean? But they was our guys, you know what I mean? They was the ones playing. They was the ones we looked up to or whatever at the time, you know what I mean? But as time went on, Skeeter was one of those ones who never really got a chance to give his full potential of what he could be. Lower left hand, point guard, fast as shit, you know what I mean? He was something like Muggs. You couldn't put that ball on the floor. He getting it up off you. But he a haul ass down court and couldn't finish the layup all the time or whatever, you know what I mean? And he went down Dunbar. He played JV a year or two down there, but the streets sucked him right up. But he was one of those ones that knew our potential. And he would like, you know, come get us. Remember when the Sterlings first came out, the cars of Sterling, and he had a Sterling. We was like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? But he was getting money, you know what I mean? He used to come get us, take us to the store, buy sneakers, take us out to eat, and do things like that, man, you know? So we had guys that was constantly telling us to stay in school, stay in school. I had one guy, he sent me to 3 of my proms, you know what I mean? But the only difference with him was he used to have me in the house putting the 10s and the 20s and the 50s where they supposed to be at, you know what I'm saying? And that was different from when my brother was giving me money, whatever. I never got a chance to see it, never had hands on. So that's why when my friend said my brother got an ounce of coke, and I just told him to get it, you know what I mean? And we got it. And like with anything that you do, you know you ain't got no business doing it, man, the devil will allow you to have a certain level of success with it, just so you can puff up, you know what I mean? Think it's all about you, be like, yeah, what I'm doing. That's how we did. We got that ounce of coke and sold it the first night. My brother, I remember we went up to the Jet Set up on Luzerne and Federal Street in East Baltimore and got the gel caps. Came back to the house, we sneaking up in the house or whatever, my mom downstairs, we up there, put that joint through the sifter or whatever, get my brother to cook something up to see was it right. Of course we don't know. He worked the shit out of us. Right. You know, he cook it up. Yeah. He cook it up, got me thinking it's all baking soda at the bottom of the spoon. You know what I mean? He handled that spoon carefully. We're like, yeah, there you go right there. He dropped off what he wanted to drop off, handled that spoon carefully, you know what I mean? But as time went on, you know what I mean, once he seen I know what was going on, he was dumping. But I didn't know what was going on then. And I was breaking him off after, you know what I mean, he cooked it up for me, you know what I mean? But anyway. The early lesson. Yeah. But anyway, he got us on and man, we smashed that joint the first night. Called his brother-in-law, told him we was finished. And he was like, y'all basketball niggas, what y'all doing selling coke that quick like that? He gave us 3 more ounces, and then we was off to the races.